All right, guys. Welcome back to another crazy episode. We are doing all of the Spider Man 4 news, all of the Venom 3 rumors, and so on and so forth. And on top of all of that, we are also doing a crazy giveaway for this beautiful book. So if you entered that giveaway on our Instagram, it is now closed. We will be announcing a new giveaway for the month of March, and then at the end of the month, similar rules apply. Be following. You gotta comment on Instagram with three people who hopefully are not following us, and then again sharing it. And then if you come watch the live streams, you have a couple bonus entries that you might be able to get in there. So without further ado, let's start talking Spider-Man 4 news. What is up? What is the
Hey,
new
hey, hey.
crazy Spider-Man 4?
Whew, man. There's so much going on. I don't even know where to begin with Spider-Man 4. As everybody already heard by now, they are definitely introducing Miles Morales into the Spider-Man 4. This is not a rumor, by the way. This is confirmed. I confirmed it. A lot of people confirmed it, like at least a week before. We all kind of knew about it. Like the people who were in the know were pretty much
Yeah.
told, don't announce it to such day. Because remember, I told you guys that I had something to say, but I can't say it. So, like, when it pretty much made the rounds and we were all given the green light, that's when we were like, okay, you can tell now that we are going to be definitely introducing Miles Morales. And I was like, wow. So I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, from my perspective, I think it's a great idea because if you look at the dynamics of Tom Holland's Spider-Man, he's a younger, like, the way Peter Parker was supposed to be when he was discovering his power. So I could see, like, in the comics, if they meet and they're both young, I think that's a better dynamic than having an older Spider-Man in his 20s trying to train this kid. They're both kids trying to figure it out. I think that's the way they're going, but we're not sure, like in Spider-Man 4, how far along in time they're going to go right now. We're
So
hearing that, um, yeah.
my hope for this is that they take this character of Miles Morales, they take the character of Peter Parker, and they immediately turn this into a completely street level hero
Oh yeah,
movie.
that's definitely going to be the case. Yeah, that's
Like,
one thing that they actually announced that this is going to be a street level Miles Morales, like a street level Spider-Man. They're
yeah.
definitely doing that
So
without a
they
doubt.
said that if
They're listening.
if the same director takes on the role for, or it directs, that did No Way Home, we're most likely going to get a more multiversal Spider-Man movie. But since Kevin Feige is
Well,
currently
yeah.
looking for a new director for this, it's most likely going to be a street level hero movie.
No, yeah, it's definitely going to be a street level movie. This is already another fact that they made sure that they put out that it's definitely a street level Spider-Man movie. I think they understand that this is the best way to go and what the fans want. I mean, if you're going to do this with a new character, you might as
Yeah,
well just do it. I feel that's the right way to do it. I mean, I definitely want to see him being a street level character and figuring stuff out. I also
definitely.
heard, like, as far as his appearance now, I'm hearing two different things. I'm hearing that he's gonna somehow be in the movie like towards the middle to the end, or
Okay.
he's gonna be at the beginning and then show up again at the end. But they're not sure if they're gonna use him for the whole movie. But you're gonna be seeing like
I
weird cuts
wouldn't.
of him.
I,
Yeah,
I
I
wouldn't
mean,
use
I
Miles Morales as
right.
a main
They
character.
gotta
I would
no.
introduce
They're
him
gonna
and
yeah.
move on, and then maybe he gets bit in a post credit scene, or maybe he gets bit during a battle that he just happens to be at because it's at Brooklyn Visions, and then you go
Yes.
from there to kind of like in the video game where he discovers his powers, and then Peter's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I've got powers too." Something similar to that. Real quick, have they announced the casting for Miles Morales yet?
No, no, they have it. But from what I understand, they're down to like the final 3 or 4. And
Okay,
I haven't the actors' names. I've never heard of these guys, so this
I
is
don't
going to be
want a
like a
named actor.
fresh take, fresh actor. Right? It ain't going to be. There's
Yeah,
nobody that's going to fit that like kind of as a main actor fit the age and the stylings of Miles Morales. But trust me, I follow a lot of kids on Instagram that have been talking about this for years. And I'm talking to all you guys out there, my little Miles Morales says, go audition. But nah, they
mm-hmm.
already down to their last 2 or 3. And I think they already picked it. So what I've heard is like as they're filming now, they're just trying to figure out exactly how they're gonna work him into the story because he's definitely gonna be there, but they're just trying to figure out where they're gonna put him in and how they're gonna work him in. And I think that's a great idea. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I'm actually don't like. I'm mixed when it comes to Miles Morales. I always have been, but he's here. So if you're gonna do something new with this kid, I would like to see it. I would like to see a Miles Morales Spider-Man. I think it'll be cool. I mean, I understand that there's 3 versions of Spider-Man, people, so you don't have to get upset with they changed the law. I used to be upset with this a lot, and I'm not really upset with it that much anymore because I understand Miles Morales is just like, if you really follow his history, it's chaotic and all over the place. So he doesn't really have he has an origin, but it's not like a Peter Parker origin. Like, in other words, you can take Miles and put him into different things and it will be all right, I just hope that they don't jump out Peter Parker like they did in the video game. Damn, Miles ain't taking anything over. That's the only thing I didn't like about the Spider-Man game. I'm sorry if you guys never played that. That's what happens at the end. Miles takes over.
Jared Leto is Miles Morales. I hope not.
And also, I don't know if you want to get into the Venom. Yeah, I hope not either. I don't know if you want to get into the Venom too, but apparently Venom 3 definitely is going to have Scream. It's been confirmed. And what's funny is that this confirmation goes back quite a few months. I didn't realize it until I started, asking around, and my boys are like, "Well, this has been announced as far back as November." I don't know how the hell no one knows this. So I'm trying to find the original article that I saw earlier, but they have casting for Scream, and it's the actress from I don't know if it's Park and Recreation, one of those shows, Juno Templar, and I'll be honest, she does look like she could be a good Scream, not for nothing. Look at that face.
Yeah.
I think she could pull it off. So this is who's definitely going to play Scream. Now,
this is what I'm wondering, Anakin. What is Toxic going to look like?
Yeah, honestly, at this point, they're not releasing any footage. I'm trying to get photos of anything, even set photos. Like, I know people.
Have they finished filming yet?
Nah. I hear that it's wrapped, but that don't mean anything. They could be filming right now. They could be completed, and then they'll go back on the editor's floor. So once you finish filming, what the editors do is they'll tell everybody to take a few days off, and the editors go through all the footage. And if anything else is needed, or they feel the story's incomplete, or something's missing, or something needs to be taken out, the editors will either take that out or reshoots will start, and then that's when it's finally over. And this is why I say to people that it is wrapped filming, but that doesn't mean it's finalized. There's a big difference between wrapping filming, because I've been on plenty of sets where they wrap the film and then we're getting the call the next day. You guys got to come back Monday. We're doing reshoots for 2 weeks. So I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, I mean, this is a very common thing. The same thing with I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with Captain America, but that thing's gone through already 3 reshoots. 3. It said 2, but they're BSing. They're on their 3rd reshoot right now. This is So understand, when you hear that things are wrapped, I think this will be done on time, though. I definitely think this will be done on time. The Wolverine and Deadpool movie will be done on time for sure. I mean, everything looks like it's on schedule. And like I said, I think that the Venom is wrapped now, but like I said, you never know. You never know. Like I've seen it 20 times, so they're officially wrapped now, but it's not set in stone. In about a week or 2, we'll get confirmation. But from what I could tell, I think they got it. I mean, I definitely think they got it. I haven't seen any photos. They've been very I think what happened was when the Deadpool 3 photos started to leak, that they really all had to sit down look, guys, we can't be leaking our own stuff online like this. Like, Ryan Reynolds was very cordial about it, but I know I would have been pissed off. Just because you gotta understand, when you're getting these photos, you're not getting them from the public. You're getting them from people like me who are already inside of this, who are already there while they're shooting and taking these photos and then releasing them, which when we're working, that's against our contract to begin with. We're not allowed to take set photos. So,
because you've got every NDA possible, right?
Oh my God. Okay, so this is how it works. When we're doing future Comic Lounge shows and I'm going to be working soon, I'll be able to go on set. I'll be able to show you guys. I'll even be able to tell you the name of the project, but it won't be the real name of the project. What they do is whenever they film, they'll put up a different name for the project. But in reality, that's not the real name. That's what they give the public because people are gonna ask, "Oh, what are you guys shooting here?" We can't tell them. "Oh, we're shooting the next Deadpool 5." No, we gotta tell them some made up name, and it's not the name of the project. So I'm going to, when I start getting back into that, while we're doing the lounge, I'm going to be doing some live walkthroughs, and while I'm talking to you guys, I'm going to show you what's going on behind the scenes. Things I'm allowed to film without getting in trouble, obviously, because I got to talk to people about doing this. But I do have a lot of people in the industry.
Anakin mentioned the release date of November 8th of this year, and I mean that seems like we said, that seems very set in stone. It doesn't seem like it's going to get pushed back.
No,
this means we could probably get a trailer somewhere around August or September and take advantage of
I'm actually hearing that
the summer movies that are coming out, all of that.
I think I'm hearing that they want to have the trailer by June, July. And they're
for the Deadpool movie
and running in a couple of theaters for the Deadpool movie and for the Venom movie. They want to have they want to also have these clips coming up now. They want to advertise this heavy once it comes out. So June, July, August is when you'll start seeing. Yeah, I mean,
you just lost how much money on Madam Web?
Yeah, oh my God, what a nightmare that was. Do you remember how I said how bad I was gonna bomb? I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it bombed way worse than I could have ever anticipated. I think.
Have you went to go see it yet?
Okay, someone sent me the film, right? An official copy, and I'm gonna be honest, I put it on for 5 minutes, and I turned it off. I turned it off. The second she was in the car, she got trapped, and she sees whatever. Then I'm like,
he was like, I'm done.
I tried 10 minutes. I mean, I could have watched it for free. I got a free copy of it, from the studio. They were like, you can watch it, so share it. And I gave them back the link and said, I'm good with laughy faces. And the studio laughed back at me with laughy faces. They said, don't feel bad. Dakota Johnson doesn't even want to watch this. and it's true, because what they're telling us is that she never watched Madam Web. And she refuses to watch it.
Do most actors want to watch their own movie? I feel like it's weird.
I mean, some actors are like this, and that I've met, right? And I've talked to personally. They find it to be completely weird to watch themselves on the screen.
Yeah.
They feel like they lived the experience. Some actors feel as if they want to see where they messed up, so they'll watch a movie. I mean, it all goes by personal preference. I mean, if you love yourself, you want to keep seeing yourself over and over again, I'm pretty sure you would watch yourself. I mean, like, even sometimes in my shows, I don't really watch them all, like, after I do them. Sometimes I do.
Yep.
So I can understand that, like, 'cause I lived it,
sometimes I do to relook at what I did to be like, okay, well, how could I change? Like, how did my voice sound? How did the audio sound?
Yeah, how does everything's arranged? For research and
exactly.
A lot of,
but
right, go ahead.
I don't have any reason to like go back and watch an entire 2-hour long live stream, because I'm like, I know what we talked about. If I want to go back, I'm going back to find a specific clip and figure out where it was, so then I can put that clip into a short and say, hey, this is what we talked about on Friday night. There you go. But I
was watching some of your clips today.
I
was on that all day.
I can understand.
And I watched some more clips too. Yeah.
Why you wouldn't want to then sit there and go rewatch yourself?
I'll tell you the truth. When I watched the show that when you first did for my comic, of course it's advertisement time, Symbiotic, book one, the Book of Einstein. When you did this, I rewatched some of it today, and I gotta be honest, I'm glad I actually did rewatch it, because I said a lot of stuff in there that I actually forgot that I said that I actually done in the books, and I'm doing that, and I'm like, oh damn, I did come up with this already, like the concepts and everything. So I mean, certain things I'll rewatch. But when I get to movies and stuff, I mean, I just want to be like, honestly, when I'm all said and done, I will never be an actor. I don't want to be an actor in that sense. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was offered these jobs. I don't care for them. I mean, you can imagine why. You listen to these Hollywood stories, and it's a cesspool. On my end, it's different, because we all in the union, and we all Teamsters. So if you mess with one of us, you're messing with all of us. It's like, I mean, the Teamsters were pretty much formed by the mob, so that tells you everything you need to know. But So, you get these, it's just a weird dynamic in Hollywood. Like, I like the people there, but there's just like the people who are in like the real tops, the heads of everything, they're not the most nicest people. And I'm not saying like I care if you're nice or mean to me, because I'm a man. I'm not gonna take no disrespect from anybody, no matter what. I mean, I'm gonna give you respect as long as you give it to me. I've seen producers, directors, yelling right at people, yelling right to their faces, and I'm like, I remember one time. I'm not gonna say who it was. It was a horrible, like, verbal beatdown, and I passed him. I said, "You lucky you ain't talking to me like that. You'd be smacked across your fucking face." I just kept going. I
Yeah.
got in trouble. But I didn't make no apology. I said, "No, I said what I said, and I stick right by it." So this director, producer, I forget what, or writer, I forget which title this person had, would never talk to me for the whole production. Like, wouldn't ride with me. If I had to take them somewhere, they wouldn't let me. They would like, "Oh, I want somebody else," and I was fine with that because I don't
Yep.
want to be with assholes. But you have a lot of assholes, so you have nice people. I mean, I've always seen, like, for me, all the actors, the majority of them, are the nicest people you'll ever meet. It's everyone else that's an asshole. It's the people who are doing like that. I'm not throwing people on the bus. I'm just saying, from
Yep.
interacting with everyone, from hair and makeup to set to line production to writer's room to staff to the catering, they're all assholes. They just have a sour disposition. I don't know why. I'm the only happy one there. And they look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, we're making money and we're making history. Our names are going into movies. Why would you not be happy about this? Every time I work a movie, right? And this is another thing I haven't done yet. I'm gonna look it up on La La Crocodile. They will take my name and put me in the movie because I'm part of the staff. So what's good about movies? No matter what level you're working on, your name will make the credits. You'll see the grip trucks and all that stuff. That's where I'm at in the union part of it.
Yep.
But I do like that. They ask you always though, because I guess some people don't want to be announced on the movie. They give you a form to fill out. They go, okay, if you want to be in the credits, how would you want to be titled? Like, because I got different titles. I'm what I would call straight up a gopher, but I'm more like a transporter. Like, I'm a transporter. So what that means is pretty much I'm driving people from set to set. I'm transporting films. I'm transporting shows, movies, like, to studios all around New York City. So we have studios in Brooklyn. We have studios in Manhattan. So whenever I'm on a job, that's one of my main things. I get to film at night. So, I had the whole season of Equalizer one night, and I dropped it off to get done. And if I would have lost that, that's the only copy, the master copy I had. There's no backups. It's all done on one master copy. It's not, when we used to do it back in the day, it would be like film, real film, Panavision film, like rolls of film. No, this is all like digital. And it's like a weird, like when I'm on the show and I'm on the set and I'm doing this, I'm going to show you guys. It's a weird box. It looks like a black, I don't know, like a tough box. And it's just a weird box. Okay. It has this like 12 terabyte, 15 terabyte hard drive that holds, like, forget about it, infinite amount of info. Like, you can never fill it up. They said that you can put like 6 movies on one of these with no problem. So they're always going to make sure they have memory. So that's one of my main missions. I call them missions when they give them to me. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, edited, meaning that they kind of edit it and cut it up and then what I do with that footage from that point on is I'm taking it to the editors, and then the editors are gonna cut it up, and then my job is done.
With all of the different theaters and whatnot, or not theaters, studios within New York City.
Yes.
Why does a movie like Spider-Man, where we know that it's pretty much based in New York City, no matter what, especially for this next street level hero film, why do most of them not film in New York?
Honestly, expensive. And people do bids all the time. So you could get, like, Canada been poaching a lot of business. They'll put in bids for cities that look similar to New York. So what they'll do is they send out, so the way this process works is they send out what they call location scouts. Now the location scouts go to certain places. Okay, let's say you want to do New York, right? Okay, so maybe I'll find a place in Chicago that has a couple of blocks that look like New York, and they're willing to let us film for a lot cheaper than what New York would let us film for. So that's when you'll see things like this going to different states because everything's
Yeah.
done by bidding. And New York is very expensive to film in. But if you're going
I
to do
figured.
Spider-Man, you got to do them in New York. They do some certain parts in New York, but most of it is really shot in L.A. I mean,
Yeah.
the stuff that you don't have to see swinging around, they can CGI all that, you know.
Yep.
But most of it is shot in LA, and it's just for the convenience that Sony Studios is right there. I mean, you know, but we're on the East Coast here, and
Yeah.
what we have here that a lot of people don't know about is that I don't know if anybody's aware of it or not, so I'll say it to you guys now. Netflix built its own film studio in Bushwick, Brooklyn, about 2 years ago. So Netflix has an entire film studio, like a professional film lot. Like I was on it, and I was like, "Wow, you guys
Can
did
you
it."
tell that
like,
it's a film
Netflix
lot?
is no joke. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen one, so I'll explain to you what it looks like. When you're coming across one of these lots, you're gonna see like you'll turn it into a block, and you'll see like big gate. It'll say the name of the studio on top, right?
Yeah.
Like I worked for a studio. You can look this up. Silver Cup Studios. That's like one of the most famous studios in all of New York. Silver Cup Studios is somewhere in Queens. And well, with Silver Cup Studios, the thing about it is that you definitely know it's a studio because you can see that damn sign. It's like so big. You can see it coming off of a bridge. So when you see Silver Cup Studios, you can see it from anywhere you're driving, which is a good idea because you know you get free advertisement. So it depends on what lot you're pulling up on. I mean, the Netflix lot, I didn't know what the hell that was until I got a little deep into it. And then I saw it and I was like, oh shit, you guys got this. What the hell? And they took me on a tour. I was amazed. And I'm not just talking about with the no man, nah. I plead the fifth on that. But yeah, so there's a lot of film studios opening up all on the East Coast as well. So we're getting like you know, we're East Coast guys, so we're getting a lot of work. I mean, if I wanted to go to Cali and work, I could, but who the hell wants to? Ugh. I mean, I'm not the same way in California. I mean, you know, I like California personally, weather, everything nice. I just don't like the mess that's been going on over there the last couple of years.
Like
I don't know if I ever
Florida.
told you this story, but
I love visiting, love going to Disney, but I would never go live in Florida.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck that.
No. I mean, I was talking about that with my fiance today. Me and Dee was talking about Florida, and what we were watching was all the sinkholes. I was watching a video on sinkholes, and they just popped up like, "Yeah, that's what you're gonna get when we go to Florida." And she has family live out there. She goes, "Oh, I'm so worried about my family." I said, "Don't worry, they're not gonna sink in the hole." I'm saying that now. I get a call the next day. Sinkhole, open up. Everybody went in. So yeah, I mean, this is like right now where we're at in the East Coast. It's like going to be hooked up for a long time because and I'll say this: I'm not investing people, so you know you can do your research. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you guys are in the know, you need to jump on some Netflix stock before June because they are literally going to blow the hell up once WWE joins them in January. They're bringing $2.4 billion of revenue right over to their network. Like, wow. In other words, once this show goes on air, it's going to increase Netflix value by $2.1 billion, was the estimated value because this show is going to be contracted for 5 years, and I believe it's $550,000 or $750,000 per year, up to $1 million with options. And I'm just telling you right now, just from what I can see,
and that's what Netflix will be making off of this,
right? So what Netflix is crazy with is that a show like this is very important because this show's been on since like the 90s, like 94. It has never gone off the air. It's always pulled in ratings. So the fact that they lined up with Netflix, because I remember I was telling you that I thought they were gonna go with Disney or Amazon or Netflix. Yep. So that's what the talk was, that they were looking to shop this around. And I guess Netflix worked it out with them. Oh,
I mean, I feel like Netflix is the way to go for most of this stuff because you don't have to be as family friendly as some of these other ones. Like obviously you've got HBO, you've got Max, and that Max is what it is. I mean, it's HBO. HBO has always been known for being the least family friendly of all of the different studios and streaming services, and even before all of that, TV channels. Then you have like Peacock, and Peacock is one of those ones where it kind of like treads that line between there's some kids shows, but it's mostly like late night stuff similar to that. Then
Yeah.
uh you've got Netflix. Netflix is obviously where Marvel started because they knew they wouldn't have to worry about a lot of like the Disney-esque stuff. Um and then of course there's the other streaming services, Paramount, which is owned by Nickelodeon,
Mm-hmm.
and a few others. So you have like all these somewhat kid friendly and not kid friendly built into one. Netflix is one of those ones where it's got like mostly teenage to adult stuff. There's some
Right.
kid
It's
stuff,
it's
but
pretty much, yeah.
it
It's
like
geared to
Disney
younger
owns pretty
people
much
to
everything
adults.
kids, and so does Nickelodeon.
Yeah. So, and it's a good move for them because you're still gonna, because kids still watch Netflix, but adults watch it as well. And War is one of those shows that, if you're in the know about wrestling, that you'll see the age
Yeah.
demographic is incredible. You can have fans from 5 years old up until 70 years old, up until
Yeah.
80 years old. I remember one time I went to a wrestling match. I think it was actually, no, I actually went to a WrestleMania. The one that they had a couple years ago down by MetLife Stadium. I went to that one,
Okay.
and you see like this grandmother took her her grandson to go see wrestling, and then when Randy Orton came on, she's like, "Oh, me and Poppy's like she was really like, I was laughing because I was like, look at these people that are having so much fun, and it's different ages." So I think that, and plus you gotta understand about Netflix, they're the best, okay? Because first of all, they're around the longest in their technology, and their engine works the best. I mean, it does. It's no doubt about it. You can't. Amazon can't even compare to it. You ever try rewinding fast for Amazon and do it with Netflix? You can tell me which one's better. You'll see the functionality of Netflix is superior to everything. Everything is trying to be like Netflix. You understand?
Yeah.
So it makes sense for them. Netflix has the most money. Netflix has the most success. I mean, Netflix has got a couple of bombs on it. Don't. I'm not saying that Netflix is perfect, but for the majority, the majority of their shows are good. The majority of them. Some of them, but the majority of them are good. And I and and also they are definitely moving away from this woken crap. They're
Mm-hmm.
saying that they're going to become broke if they go this way. So they're not even following all of this woke tard crap. They don't care to follow that. They're just doing their own thing. Oh, and that brings me back to another. It's not a rumor. Well, kind of is a rumor, but I know that it's going to happen because the people I talked to were the people who were working on this originally. Daredevil Born Again is not going to come out on freaking Disney, and they're talking right now to put Daredevil again, Daredevil Born Again on Netflix. And I hope they freaking do it. And I got this from a very hot, like I said, these are the people who made the original.
How would they manage
Daredevil.
that if everything is supposed to be Disney Plus?
Because Disney wants to make money off of this, and Disney cannot do it. Because they've been trying to do this. They've been
Okay.
trying to do Daredevil Born Again. They had to reshoot it 3 times because they can't get it right. So they're thinking now, maybe we should just give it to Netflix so they know what they're doing and cut it on a percentage of the profits like they did originally. See, what they wanted originally when everything happened with the pandemic, what was happening is that all these streaming services started popping. This is where all the stocks started going to, like, everybody was buying stock then. I'm like, why are you buying stock now? No, no, no. This is not the time to buy. Everybody's going to buy. You wait. You wait to see who's going to pull out. I mean, if you got an inside source, you found out some information earlier, you believe this is going to pop off, by all means, get it with it slow. But the thing is that everybody went in on the height of everything. And Disney was at the highest in 2021 in February. They were at the highest they ever been in their entire existence. And that was because of the streaming services. But the problem with them is, like I said, they're not Netflix. You're trying
Yeah.
to do Netflix work with I would say a cheap pro-scan tablet. That's the equivalent of what they're doing. They cannot get Daredevil right. So the rumor is, and I'm telling you, it's not a rumor because I actually heard it from these guys, and they told me I could talk about it. That they are going to be in negotiations getting back Daredevil Board again, and they're going to do it on Netflix. And if they do that, then I got to tell you guys, look at that Netflix stock by June. If you're not buying now, like just I will start buying slowly. I made so much money off of Netflix in the past. You just gotta know when to invest with them, and this is one of the times. So, like I said, people, I'm not an investor. I don't have any professional investing advice. I just tell you what I do for me, and it always seems to work. So, yeah, that Netflix is going to jump up, and I'm pretty sure, like I said, because also if you know, and I don't know if you realize this, Disney's also trying to take off a lot of shows off the plate as well. So the things that haven't even developed yet, they're not even going to bother at this point because it's not going to be feasible for them. They lost too much money. They know they lost too much money. They did a horrible job. You're taking all this lore, you're taking everything that people like, and you're twisting it into your own version simply
Yeah.
because you have no creativity or imagination. I
Yep.
could take Spider-Man right now and write amazing stories with him or crappy stories because it's not my character. You
Yep.
understand? So a lot of these people try to build their legacy on the backs of other IPs that exist. And I find that to be, not only distasteful, but very disrespectful to the artists and the original people who made it. But like I told you guys before, I know when I heard that Tobey Maguire never read Spider-Man, I was pissed off about that. Then I got into the business and found out, well, it's not confirmed, but he knows his Spidey lore. It's just that they weren't saying it back then like they're saying now. They don't want you to have any prior knowledge of anything going on with comics because they want you to take it with fresh eyes, which I think is the stupidest approach you could ever take because you're making this for a specific brand of people, fans that are expecting this movies to be a certain way, and you just go change the formula because you're just trying to. I guess I can understand you trying to explore different options and cultures changing and the society is changing. But if you see something's failing once, twice, three times, and maybe you should just do something different because that's what seems to be happening all the time. So a lot of these series that they were supposed to be doing on Disney, they're gonna start scrapping a lot of them anyway. Agatha Harkness is got put on
Yeah.
hold again. I mean, like
I
the
don't
list
think
goes
there's
on
a
and on.
reason for that to ever get made. In all honesty,
Oh, who the hell wants Agatha Harkness? Come on, man.
like
Dude, I barely wanted Scarlet Witch. Why would I want Agatha Harkness? Who
yeah,
gives a damn about her? I don't care about her. This is the
I'd love
problem,
to see a
Marvel.
Scarlet Witch movie. Like I'd love to see where
Oh,
they
yeah,
took
yeah.
her after Multiverse of Madness, but at the same time, I'm not gonna sit here and push it to the point where it just continues and continues and continues to beat a dead horse. Like
Exactly.
give me something that we've been wanting, which is Galactus, which is Doctor Doom. Like I wanted Kang, and I I don't think the Kang Dynasty era was extremely flawed. I think it suffered at the beginning from people wanting it to be just as good as Endgame. Then it suffered from people not seeing it as good as Endgame, so they were going to continue to bash it and put the bots out there to hate on it online and bring down the ratings, which then makes people not want to go see it. And then I feel like it suffered from that. Obviously, COVID was a massive thing that it suffered from. People just got bored. And then seeing stuff immediately go to on like live streaming or streaming services. People are like, why do I need to go to a theater anymore? I honestly feel like unless you're going to the theater for a full date experience,
Yeah. Yeah,
people aren't
it's
going there anymore.
I mean, look, people gotta understand something. These stupid asses, they shot themselves in both feet because you pushed so hard on the streaming and you weren't ready to handle it that you neglected the very thing that brought you there, which was the movies. And this is what they did. They literally said, no, we're going to abandon what we're making money with. Go on this streaming service, pile it with tons of content. Because, for all we know, and this is things I'm hearing, that they thought the pandemic was going to last quite a few years. So why not flood it with content? The problem is that's the problem. You flooded it with just content. You didn't flood it with anything good. See, there's a difference between flooding things with content and flooding with good content, So if the fans are letting you know they don't like this and you're still pushing it, So they just got to figure out like exactly where their center is because they definitely lost it years ago. And I think if they still keep trying to go in the direction they're going to go, I mean, Disney stock has been the lowest it's been in like years. I mean, and it's still suffering, You're
Yeah.
talking about losing billions, 30% valuation gone on your portfolio. I mean, anybody that have money in there now lost 30% of their money,
Yep. Have you been watching
Shogun,
Shogun at all?
I'm gonna actually start watching that this weekend. It looks very interesting, and in fact, I was thinking about doing like I'm gonna do like shows on that. Like I'm gonna do like a weekly thing on that. Maybe a short on Shogun episode 1 out. No spoilers. I'll just try to put it in. But it looks I like FX. They are great. I love FX. They've made some amazing stuff. I mean, you ever seen the Shield? They've made Justified. They made a couple ones that I really like a lot, and they're actually really good at making shows. FX is really good at making shows. I mean,
Yeah.
like for a mid-tier cable company, they are the best. Oh, them and AMC. I'm not gonna lie. It depends on the year. It depends on what they both got going on. But AMC and FX, great people to make content with. They know what they're doing. And like I said, it's not with all this stuff. Just certain things that I find that were like, you know what? For an FX show, it's pretty good. For, any of the other networks like you're doing, I would say that's good as well, depending on the show. But yeah, a lot of these streaming services is what's killing the movies now.
Have
Because
you
like I
watched
said,
Avatar at
they
all?
went too hard. Oh yeah, a matter of fact, I did watch Avatar, and I'm gonna be doing
Because that's Netflix, right?
yeah, I'm gonna be doing a show on that probably tomorrow.
Okay.
Maybe I'm gonna do a little live stream. I'm gonna go on in a noon live stream and I'll talk about Avatar. But real quick, I'll just say about Avatar because I never watched the Nickelodeon Avatar Last Airbender. I caught it here and there. I did see the M. Night Shyamalan Last Airbender, which I wasn't too crazy about. But I did watch all of the Last Airbender, and I'm gonna say it's good. I'm not gonna say it's great, and it wasn't like One Piece. I was expected to be like One Piece, but I will say this much: the kid that they got that plays the Avatar, he's on spot. This kid got it. He's really good. I really like the actor that played him. He's Aang. His name is right. That's the character Avatar is Aang. He plays Aang real good. Like I knew the lore. I knew the lore like he was 100 something years old, but I didn't know how. And in the show, I found out how because he got frozen. In a big battle, him and his flying buffalo goes down into an iceberg and gets frozen like Captain America. Yeah. And he was like just discovering he was unlocking his true potential and then got frozen. Then 100 years later, he gets thawed out. So I was like, oh, okay, that's how he's 100 something years old. Because I always wonder, I was like, oh, here he's 113. I'm like, how is he this old? And then that's how it was because he wakes up 100 years later and his empire is destroyed. And that's what the whole show's about. And I'm going to be honest, the special effects in that thing were great. They weren't good. They were great. And they spent 1/4 of what any movie would spend. Marvel CGI looks like crap compared to these guys, okay?
Wow.
Their CGI looks amazing. I mean, even Godzilla -1, I don't know if you saw that.
No, I haven't
CGI
yet.
was freaking...
I've never been a Godzilla fan.
No, neither have I. Like, I've always, like, when I was a kid, Godzilla was always on TV in the black and white. So, I grew up with Godzilla, Godzooky, King Kong, all the silly stuff that you would see. Like, I didn't really take it seriously. Like, Godzilla wasn't taken seriously. But when I just wanted to see what they did with Godzilla -1 because it's not in English. So I just wanted to see what they did with it. But the effects, oh my God, that damn Godzilla looks so real. And they only spent $5.5 million on that whole film. $5.5 million on a film that made about 85 to 90 million. It probably cost 100 million mark. And you're talking $5 million. That's how you make a movie with the effects that are just as $5 million. Their special effects. I put Godzilla special effects next to Ant-Man Quantumanium. It'll destroy that movie. And that's where I think studios are starting to realize too, which they've always been talking about budgets, because you gotta understand, the pandemic was just like, it was good for the film industry because it gave them the excuse to start axing a bunch of stuff that they knew they weren't going to be able to make money off of. When you're in a contract and you're signing things and you're in negotiations and you're doing a show, right? And the show's filming. We have the pandemic. Oh, sorry, after everything, because there are breaks in the clauses if anything happens. And I guess these are one of those things. I mean, I don't know what the clause will actually be called, but a pandemic would just cancel out the contract. And that was good for them because they actually saved money that way. And this is where Disney made a lot of money too. Because like I said, they would open it up to streaming service and they started doing bundles and they were just giving this away, and people just flooded. And my God, it worked. I mean, great strategy. But then the problem was once people started watching it, they realized, like Echo. I really tried to watch Echo. I really did. Like I watched like most
I
of it.
honestly haven't
I did
found
get up
time
to
to
the
turn
end
it
because
on.
I heard the most ridiculous. Listen,
You
don't waste your
know,
time, okay? I wasted enough time in my life. Remember, time
I
is precious.
did.
You don't understand what these shows are for.
Yep. I did watch
These shows are good.
the new season of Bad Batch. I'm caught up on that, so I watched all 4 episodes. That's pretty good. I'm enjoying that.
Okay.
And I've been rewatching X-Men
Yeah, I gotta
lately.
catch up on that. I want to watch that back.
So that way when X-Men 97 comes
Okay.
out, I'm caught up on that. Or not caught up, but like I've rewatched it. And then like the show that I kind of just watch every now and again that I don't have to really like pay attention to is Big Bang Theory when I'm like falling asleep, and Psych,
Yeah, I like
which
the Big
is
Bang
it's a
Theory
fun show to
sometimes.
watch. Psych is interesting,
Yeah.
it's engaging, but like I can do it while I'm washing the dishes and stuff. I don't have to like sit down
Right,
and
it's background.
engage in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
have engagement content and I have background content.
yep.
That's background content. Yeah, I know what
And
you're
I
saying. You
feel
can
like
still pay
Echo is
attention
one of
to it,
those
and you don't
things
have to
that
be
I
like
have to
glued to
sit
your
down and
TV.
get into. Like I can't,
I mean, I watched the first episode, and when I watched it, I was really like, I mean, Daredevil fucking jumps over the gate. She shoots him point blank with a shotgun, and Daredevil's fine. He can't see, but he's fine. Got shot in the face. I mean, with scatter shot, buckshot, whatever pellets. If a shotgun has one of these things, you get shot with something. And
something was hitting you.
Smoke, it looked like it was buckshot.
Yep.
He got hit with buckshot and he was fine. I was like, oh, come on, man.
He's a really good lawyer.
Man. Come on. Oh yeah,
he's just a really good lawyer.
Yeah, man.
So I do want to do the giveaway. We're about 40 minutes into the show. I'm gonna get that pulled up right now.
You know what's funny? You showed that. Can you put me in the giveaway? Come on, man. I'm on the lounge. Am I qualified? I saw that David Nakayama coming today, and I left it. Do it. Oh, let's see this. I like the wheel. Oh, that's badass. You gotta show me how you did that, because when I'm doing the wheel next time, I want to do the same one. So let's
definitely.
see. Okay. Oh, that's the one I use. So you just found this. It's on there. Yep. This is awesome.
Yeah, you can customize it, add an image to it, all that. All right.
Oh, that's dope.
So winner is Walking with Zay. And then I'll do a backup winner just in case I can't get a hold of him. Or in case he no longer wants the book. Backup winner is Comic Nerd. So those are our 2 winners. Definitely going to be reaching out to the winners soon. If you're not watching live, we'll be on for another 5-10 minutes or so. And thank you guys for playing. Again, the next giveaway will be in 11, or actually it's 12 by 17. It's an art piece by Steve Messenger. I'm going to be giving away 2 of those, one in March, one in April.
Nice.
We have an interview with him March 29th, so definitely tune in for that. That's going to be a ton of fun.
Yeah, and also like I'm going to try to line up some artists and some comic companies. So we're going to have some stuff going on soon. You're going to be seeing some really crazy. I'm not going to announce who we're going to have or who I'm going to try to get, but trust me, it's going to be good. You guys are going to be very happy with this. Because it's cool. We both know a lot of people. This is awesome. And this is a great environment to be in, you know. Our last interview with Dave Nakayama, I love that. That was awesome. Can't wait to do another one. And every creative we ever had on, I was elated when you had me on. I was like, look, I'm on as a guest. I was like, what the hell's going on here? It was cool, you know. So yeah, expect that, guys. We're gonna have a lot more interviews, and as I'm gonna try to actually. I know a couple celebrities that told me that they're willing to come on eventually, so we're gonna work that out. And I'm going to show you which ones. And if you're down for that, trust me, guys, hang in there, because by the time we get to the end of the year, we're going to have a major celebrity on this podcast with us. We're gonna be all streaming live. Trust me when I tell you, not and you've seen we have already done it, so it's not a problem. My word is
Yep.
my bond. I told you we were gonna get that DNA interview. We got it, see? And that's my boy right there. Shout out to you, David Nakayama. I miss you, man.
Appreciate
I see you again. And I do have a lot of plans. For my comic right now with this comic, I'm doing book 2. So I just want to give you guys a quick update of what's going on. We're pretty much almost done with the comic. Like Waylon turned in he turned in I had him do like I'm not gonna give away too much of details of what I have him do, but this is like a memory dream sequence, and it's supposed to be a humongous interplanetary battle. And he's doing the panels for that right now. And he showed me one of them today, and it came out so sweet. Oh my god. So we're doing like a like remember in book 1, I'll show you guys. So in book 1 I did a panel like this because I like panels. So we did one like that. And I love that. That's the battle scene where Einstein's getting ready to hit Faust with his lightning and the explosion happens. That's the end pretty much. But so we're sequencing the book in a way like you're gonna see. It's like I don't know if I showed you any of my designs of what I've done with I've actually been paneling. Like I didn't anticipate that I was going to panel or I need to panel. It was just something that as I started putting it together, I started to see, wait a minute, I actually could panel now. So I'm making a comic to where it has like similar art, way better art. So you'll see stuff like this in it, right? But I'm also going to be paneling these different art into more like the story, so we don't go too crazy. But everything's going to line up, and I've been doing a lot of paneling, and it's been coming out really good. So I'm hoping that by the end of March, my company and my comic will be ready to go to print, and I'm probably looking at maybe mid-April for the release of book 2. And then we're gonna already be jumping on the cover for book 3 because I already know what cover I want. And I won't tell you guys the cover, but I'll tell you it's amazing. That's all I'll say about the cover. That's it. Use your imaginations and trust me. My big thing about this is the covers. All right. Because they say you can't judge a book by a cover except for comics.
Yep. Yeah.
You're right. That. I like that. I'm gonna put on a shirt. Copyright patent. If you buy it, I'm suing you. That's it.
You are very correct because I mean, like other books you don't see as a cover. I just learned today that like Harry Potter books, the original set, all had like little Easter eggs and stuff in it. And I mean, I never bought the Harry Potter books because of the covers. I bought them because I thought they were cool. They were something completely different from what a lot of other authors were writing at that time. It was a boy who was the main character, and a lot of books meant for young preteens and teenagers are not male leads. They are female leads. There are hardly any current novels for that age range, or even novels from like way back for that age range that are male led. A lot of it is still, it's either a female topic with a possible male lead character, but the male lead character is told through a lens that's clearly not from a male, or just not as well crafted, I guess is the best way to put it. Like even Great Gatsby. Great Gatsby is an amazing book, beautifully told story, but it's not a male-centered book. It is still a chick flick from the early 1900s.
Mm-hmm.
And even though you have many male characters, a male lead character, that's just not the case. Even The Giver. The Giver is not a book that really says, hey, this is for boys. It's a dystopian novel. That there's not many out there, in all honesty. So seeing Harry Potter back then and seeing it as a true male lead character with male role models and kids that you could connect with. Like when Harry Potter was coming out, I was the exact same age as Harry Potter. So like everyone in my class all had a Harry Potter book because he was entering sixth grade just like we were.
Did you all wear the glasses? Come on, man. You all had to come in with the spectacles.
Exactly.
I would have done.
Do you remember when books used
Oh,
to
it became
drop
a
at midnight
spectacle
the
and my
same way
damn
that
one.
movies do, and people were lined up for those?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, Barnes and Nobles all the time in my neighborhood. I used to
yep,
drive by that when I was going to go get my games at nighttime. I remember one time they were having a release of a book. The same night they were having the release of a game, and the mall I was in, it had the Barnes and Nobles store and the GameStop store in the same plaza, and you saw two of the biggest lines. And everybody was getting offline talking to each other about what they were waiting for. It was so funny. Yeah.
yep.
So I have actually seen one, and I was laughing when I saw it. I was like, I'm like, look at these guys out here for books. And then some guy says, look at us, we're out here for video games. And we all started laughing. Because, yeah, we're all out there at midnight waiting for shit, you know?
Yep.
And those, I used to do those back in the day. I haven't done it in a long time. It's not, I don't feel like it's got that same energy it used to, but
It
I used to
doesn't.
like doing that sometimes. It does it. The energy's
I
gone.
honestly
Like,
haven't heard of a midnight drop of anything in a long time. Because again,
they're
streaming
synthetic. They're
services
trying, yeah.
and like
Mm-hmm.
online stuff, it doesn't happen anymore.
I wish I had my own comic shop because I would be
Yep.
doing midnight drops of my book.
Well, yeah,
Hopefully, people
and
will line up. But I
the
would love to do events like that. That's fun. That's fandom. I love that stuff.
the thing I always loved about like Call of Duty was, you
Mhm.
know, when Call of Duty dropped on the East Coast, you had like a few thousand people playing it. Then the
Yeah, I used
midnight
to hate
drop
that. They
would
would get it
be
before us.
central, and then you would have like a few more thousand people playing it. Then the
Yeah.
midnight drop would hit the Pacific coast and the mountain time, and you would
Mhm.
have like thousands, tens of thousands of people playing it. And you
Yeah.
just saw the numbers rise as the night went on. It was really funny.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean, like, there's plenty of games I played. Like the Halo was like that. Like the
yep,
first, like the Halo 2, actually. Halo 1, no one knew about. But Halo 2, when that came out,
yeah,
everybody went insane for it. I used to be a big gamer back in the day. Like, I
yep,
mean, I
and
see these kids now streaming, and I would have been doing that. I would have been very up there in the millions because all this stuff that you see, all this like these kids that they sit there, they shoot, they hurt. We were doing that back in the day. I
yeah,
used to make people cry. I remember one of my one of my friends, I'm thinking about this. One of my friends, we were playing Halo. And I don't know, one of my friends had a problem with one of the guys in the lobby. So we got out the lobby. You know how at the end of the lobby everybody could talk and you can hear everybody, right? And
yep,
so I don't know, my friend had a problem with one of these kids, and he goes, that's not right, man. You mess with me. My mom just died. And he goes, good, I hope she suffered. I'm like, no, don't do that, man. He goes, I don't believe that shit. And the kid was like crying. I'm like, yo, bro, he's really crying. Leave that kid alone. And then he would tell me, shut, because my name on the line is the usher. He was like, shut up, usher, I don't need your help. I said, well, screw you and your mother too.
yeah,
So who knows? I mean, hopefully the mom didn't die. But, you know, things like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, we didn't have YouTube back then to, like, stream this kind of stuff. I
yeah,
wish. I wish. The things that I've done online in Halo and the incredible things I've done would have been wondrous footage, you know? I know
yeah,
Xbox has a database when we used to play. I just don't know how to get any of that footage. So I'm gonna figure it out one day. But yeah, I just feel like those were the days when the games were like coming out in the first, like when we got first Halo 1. I remember I would play this with my friends on my big screen in my house. I have 4 people play with me. And you had but it was messed up because you're all on the same screen. And we used to yell at each other like, don't be looking at my screen. Like, you know where I'm at. Like, you're looking at my screen. Like, focus on your screen. Like, that was a big deal. If you got caught looking at somebody's screen, you got slapped across the head. Like, what are you doing? And then, like, Halo 2 came out, and then you had it completely where you could do the multiplayer online, and that changed everything. And that was the first line I stood on, and that was, like, one of the funnest lines, too, because people were just losing their minds about this, you know? Just thought that was
yeah,
never done before. And then when everybody got it, it was just like, wow, this online thing has such a potential for the future. And it
yeah.
really did. I mean, it changed gaming forever as far as I'm
Do you
concerned. I
remember
mean, but I'll
PS2
never forget those
online?
old. Yes,
PS2
yes. I was
online, you had to put
playing
the
back
disc
then,
in and
PS2
you had to
online. I was
download the
playing Final
online.
Fantasy. Yes, yeah. I was playing. I had yeah, the PS2 online. You had to have like a weird, like you put this weird hard drive on the back of it. I
Yep,
remember. I think I still have it somewhere. But yeah, I was playing Final Fantasy. I was playing Final Fantasy 11. I still kind of play. I haven't played it in a long time, but that was the one game that I played on PS2, PS3, Xbox, um, Xbox 360, PlayStation 4, and I was on PlayStation 5. So that game went through 7 consoles and it's still around. You know, it's like if you guys don't know Final Fantasy Online, it's kind of like World of Warcraft, but way better. I feel. I
Okay.
mean, it's way superior. But I've had people tell me that they love World of Warcraft. So, and I've seen it, and I play with it a little bit, and I gotta say, I can see the problem with those games is that those are no lifer games. It's like I had to stop playing because I wasn't writing my comic. I was like, no, I gotta write. That's
Yeah.
the problem with these games. They're so immersive that you could just get into it. And like I remember I'd be playing, doing a mission 2, 3, 4. I'm looking like 6 hours just passed. Where the hell did they go? Like, because you get so into it, you don't realize 6 hours has passed. So I mean, good fandom game, and I do like the multiplayer online. But like we were saying earlier, those days of waiting online are over because everything's digital. They
Yep.
don't want you to own a freaking disc. Like the PlayStation 5, I had to buy that. I waited for the Spider-Man Edition one because I heard that it was gonna have a hard drive in it. It's
Yeah.
gonna have a disc drive. So I want one with a disc drive. Because a lot of these games right now, you gotta understand, guys. I know that people think it's so convenient to buy these games offline and it's all online and it's all good, but you don't own the game. You
Yep.
gotta read the licensing agreement, okay? Because I read the entire licensing
Yeah.
agreement, all 47 pages, just to see. And in that licensing agreement, it states any kind of behavior that is deemed for them unbecoming of customers, that your game will be permanently deleted
Yep.
with no options of getting it back. Now, if you have a disc, they can't take it from you. It's your game. They can probably take
Yep.
it offline, but you still have the game.
Exactly.
I'm not down for all this downloading. Listen, guys, it's gonna be
And
2030. You're gonna own nothing and you're gonna be happy. Not me. I'm gonna own everything and be happy. So
like, I do
that's what you
appreciate the
want.
fact that a disc, like, now the biggest thing that was the problem with the disc is it went bad,
Yeah.
and then you have to rebuy the game anyways.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never have to go through that now, because obviously your purchase will always be protected online in a database somewhere. However, with that all being said, how likely is it that you'll actually still have that game if that, like, Avengers?
Right.
Can I still
Well,
access that game?
and that's the point. Like, you gotta understand too. Sometimes servers shut down.
Yep.
And now if the server shuts down on that particular game over for you.
Yep.
I always say like this.
You should be able to replay it, but you'll never be able to re-download it.
Once you get like these games that are out now, they're on Blu-ray disc.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Because the Blu-ray disc, I mean, I threw that thing. I'm gonna make a video about it. I'm gonna do my God of War video where I'm gonna take God of War Ragnarok and I'm gonna step on it and I'm gonna fucking scrub it on the floor and I'm gonna do all kinds of things to it. And then I'm gonna show you that the whole disc can be clean. I used to hear rumors years ago. I was collecting CDs. Oh, my dumb friends just told me, oh, you can't leave your CDs right on top of each other. I'm like, why? He said, because dust will get on them and warp the disc, the gravity will weigh it down. I'm like, oh, because, like when you put in a disc, it's kind of suspended in there. And we would hear these rumors for years. And I'm like, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. How can it change shape from dust? Dust weighs nothing. Dust is dead cells. You can't do anything with dust. Dust has no weight. I said, he's saying gravity. I have this for decades. I still have CDs I bought from the 80s and they work fine. I can throw them in, they work with no problem. It's just how you take care of your stuff. Now, if you're a kid throwing your stuff around the floor, yeah, you're gonna ruin it back then. But I'll be honest, I never had
you're
a game
gonna ruin it or break it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but usually these discs now, they're really scratch proof and I mean, you would have to really put a hard effort into destroying one of these things. Like you really have to just crack it in half, and then it's a wrap because these things are like virtually indestructible now. And the Blu-ray technology, they're coated. Whatever they put on that disc, it's virtually scratch proof. I mean, try it. I mean, take an old game that you don't care about and take your key and key it. I want you to key it straight through. And then I want you to take a napkin and start wiping that key mark. And I guarantee it'll come out with no problem. Do it with a game that you don't care about. So when the scratch don't come out, you don't get mad at me. I'll do it first. No way.
So my last question of the night.
Yes.
For Spider-Man 4, who do you want the villain to be? Do you want this to be a Kingpin? Do you want this to follow? Because this is most likely going to come right after Daredevil Born Again. That's eyeing a 2025 January release. There's rumors that Spider-Man 4 is going to be a July 2025 release. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that I would love to see the Kingpin, definitely, for sure, because Kingpin is such an essential part of Spider-Man's story. And I really got to be honest. I know a lot of people weren't crazy about it, but I liked the Daredevil. I just didn't like that they race swapped Michael J. Duncan, I forget his name, Michael Clark Duncan. Rest his
Mm-hmm.
peace. I think he's deceased a couple years ago. Now I like Michael Clark Duncan as an actor, but me knowing the original lore, that was the first time I started to see. Wait a minute, are they race swapping people? This is the first time. Then all of a
Yep.
sudden they did with Samuel L. Jackson with Nick Fury, and no one batted an eye about that because it was Samuel L. Jackson. But still,
Yeah.
that was another major pivot. So, with that Daredevil, I was upset because I said they should have had this Daredevil leading into Spider-Man, leading into meeting and kicking the hell out of this guy. Oh Jesus, I just lost his name. Anyway, I do want to see Wilson Fisk make his appearance. I think that it'll be a great idea. The Kingpin is, like I said, he's so essential to Spider-Man. I would just wish that they would tie Daredevil into this somehow as well. Like, because I'm telling you, in the old comics, especially Daredevil and Spider-Man, they fought a little bit, then they started to team up, and then like what happened was because Spider-Man's kid back then, and he knew who he was. Remember, even though Daredevil is blind, he has
Mm-hmm.
radar. He knew all along that this kid was Peter Parker and never gave away his secret. He
Yeah.
talks about it to him. He finds him as Peter. He goes, oh, there
Yep.
you are, Spidey. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, come on, let's go trade. And they start trading. See what Spider-Man does in the comics at the beginning of his career early on is in the very first issue, he's looking for like a team. He's looking to join
Yeah.
the Fantastic Four. He's looking for a home, X-Men. He's looking to do
Yeah.
something like that. But the problem is he's a kid and he doesn't understand that the way he went about it was he literally just shows up to the headquarters and just breaks in to show him, oh, look how
Yep.
good. And they're like, no, we're not done with that. So he got
That's
mad.
not how this works.
Yeah, he got mad and he pretty much like, well, screw you guys. And, he held a bit of resentment towards
Yeah.
these groups because
So,
of that,
what I want to see is a Kingpin trilogy that leads
Oh, I
into
love
a
it.
Sinister Six movie. So
Oh,
you
that was
got
badass.
Kingpin becoming the mayor in Spider-Man 4.
Yes.
Spider-Man realizing that he needs like the Defenders or something to battle Kingpin and make sure that he doesn't become mayor, and then obviously he becomes mayor. And then you have Kingpin using the Sinister Six members. It could be the originals. We could get a brand new Doc Ock. We could get like a younger Doc Ock, hopefully.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a real Mysterio
Yes.
come back, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think we'd still get the same Mysterio, which I wouldn't mind. I do like the way they did Mysterio. It does make
Yeah.
sense
Yes.
given the technology that we have nowadays. That's what Mysterio would be like, and that's kind of the same route that the Spider-Man video game went, which was enjoyable.
Yeah.
It would be nice to see a different take on Sandman. We already have Vulture, and then obviously we could do Craven. Like even if the Craven movie fails, I still think they picked a perfect actor for Craven. I still believe that you could use that actor in many different projects. So to keep that actor and to play Craven again wouldn't be a problem for me. Like if you
Who's
were
the
to
actor they
build out
got?
a Sinister Six,
Yes.
I believe last I saw it was Aaron Taylor Johnson.
And what has he played in? It sounds familiar, his name.
He was Quicksilver.
Ah, Quicksilver. Yes.
Yep.
And, not the first time we had a recasting of a superhero.
Yep.
I mean, to a villain. You did have, who was it
Killmonger.
Johnny Storm? Johnny
Yep.
Storm. He went from being Johnny Storm to freaking Captain America. Killmonger
Well, that too, yeah.
Another one. Yeah. So
Yep.
yeah, I mean, it's possible to see these actors in different roles, but like what Marvel does, like you're right about what you just said. Craven is the male version of Madam Web, so expect that to die right at the altar of wokeness.
I wonder
where it belongs.
I wonder if it will do well overseas, being a Russian-esque film.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. When you go into this whole box office and ask yourself this, when is the last time you heard of the Russian totals?
True.
I
No,
mean,
I don't disagree with that. I just
with Russia, I think it's like this. I'm not exactly 100 on this, so if I get it wrong, guys, you can leave it in the comments. But they control a lot of what movies go in there. Anyway, they're
yeah.
worse than the Chinese when it comes to like letting movies in their country
Oh,
because
for sure.
they don't want any kind of Western propaganda
Yep.
influencing the society. China is more like what they try to do is the pseudo communist capitalist society,
Yeah.
which Hong Kong, I mean, I'm not a politician, but you know, China wants Hong Kong back.
Hmm.
So, China's the mother's gonna get what it wants eventually. And if
Yep.
that happens, then China's going to be in the same position that I find Russia in right now.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff gets over to Russia, but it's mostly bootlegged.
Okay.
And at least with China, you do have an open market. That's why you never hear anything about Russia. You never hear anything about Russia. You only hear about overseas European markets and the Asian markets because those are the
Okay.
only ones that they're going to be putting in it. I mean, I believe like these things are like we're in a capitalist society, right? And like I said,
Yeah.
China makes sense because it's pseudo capitalism. It's pseudo, meaning that they have a mix of socialism with
Yep.
capitalism. But Russia works completely different. They're like the main importers of oil, exporters of oil, and that's not how they make their money. Right now, them and India are just racking the bills up. Like when this government put a ban against them or whatever tariffs, that doesn't matter. They got the rest of the world to sell to. You gotta
Yep.
tell India they can't buy oil. So like it's just a different society, and the way that they make money is completely different versus the way that we make money because we have we have oil, we have resources, but we also have entertainment, we have innovation, we have things that intellectual properties. Think
Yep.
about it like this. I'll ask you this question. When's the last time you ever heard of a great ass superhero TV show movie coming out of Russia? And this is why I'm actually glad to see Craven because it will
Yeah.
represent that in a way that maybe you're right.
For
Maybe it
sure.
would take off over there. I'm just saying based on the nation. But for the American Russians who are here, they're going to enjoy seeing their countrymen on screen for sure.
Exactly.
It's just
And
that it would have been so much better if you would have put them in with Spider-Man.
yes.
So I just feel like
Like
again, you're trying to make a Spider-Man movie without Spider-Man is ridiculous.
I want Craven to be
Madam
successful. I
Web.
think Craven is one of the ones that
I
you
do
can
too.
do without Spider-Man and still make it
Yeah,
successful. Because Craven
I hope
can
so.
be introduced in his own way. Because obviously
Yes.
Craven has an amazing backstory.
Oh
Morbius,
yeah.
not so much. Without Spider-Man, Morbius doesn't really ever become Morbius.
Yeah, exactly.
Without Spider-Man, Madam Web never really becomes Madam Web. Like there is no Madam Web without Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man. And that's the point. So you're taking these two things and you're trying to make them standalones. Nah,
Yeah.
not gonna work. You're going against the
And
actual programming. You made Madam Web
exactly.
a fucking teenager.
Yep.
She's an old lady. Like, listen, when's the last time? Here's my question. When's the last time any of you guys out there ever called a young woman Madam?
Yeah. Yep.
Madam is an old name. When you call
Yeah.
a woman Madam, that's a mature woman. You're not calling. I never heard calling those 16-year-old Madam. Excuse me, Madam. They'll look at you like, what are you talking about? I'm young. Like, it's the funniest thing.
Yeah.
Because you just make this so young, so eccentric, like so against what she actually is. Even at the end, when they say that she becomes blind, I don't know how that happens. I guess she becomes blind, and now they're following the story. They make her look a little older. She still don't look like the lady that was on the damn train with her in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Looked more like Madam Web than she did. That was
Agreed.
Madam Web. That
Yeah.
lady was Madam Web, not the little actress running around. That lady right there, they should have got her to play Madam Web, put some damn cool ass funky glasses on her on the train, and have her talk crap to her. That's how
Yeah.
I would have done it. So like but I do like the fact that at least Craven looks like Craven. He looks
Yep.
like Craven. He sounds
Yeah.
like Craven. He moves like Craven. That's good.
I can't wait to get a new trailer for Craven because it's definitely coming. We're definitely gonna get a updated trailer for this movie at some point. The trailer that we saw was not the final trailer.
No,
Same with Deadpool, same with Venom 3, we haven't even gotten a trailer for yet. But like all of these movies are going to get updated final trailers. And I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with Craven that is one comic book accurate, because I feel like Aaron Taylor Johnson is one of those people who wants to be comic book accurate. He's one of those actors who knows the lore, or at least will make sure that the lore is kind of stuck to.
Yes.
Um, and because I mean that's why he wanted to play Craven. From what I remember, when they first cast him, was he wanted this role. He wanted to bring this character to life, similar to how Ryan Reynolds wanted to bring Deadpool to life.
Yeah, he was born for that
Um,
role.
and seeing how he has played the role in the trailer makes me excited for it. Obviously, watching Dakota Johnson play Madam Web, I was like, "What the fuck am I watching?"
Oh
But
my God.
I mean, we all
You watched
said,
it, poor
everyone on
guy.
our show said that Madam Web looks like a fan film. It looks like a CW TV show,
The
based
second
on the
I
trailer.
saw it, the
It did
second
not
I
make me
saw the
excited for it.
trailer, I was watching it with my fiance, and we watched it. And the first thing I did, I turned around to her and I told her, "Did that seem like the CW to you?" She goes, "Yeah." I was like,
Yeah,
oh, you put CW quality in a movie? It's gonna bomb. That would have been a great show, miniseries.
well,
Like,
Sony didn't put any
would have
money
worked.
into it.
Yeah, they
They put
only threw like
80 million into this. There was less money in
it's
this than there was in Batgirl.
yeah, but it doesn't matter because you still lost $100 million because that's what it
Yeah,
actually is. Plus, we're talking advertising, so you're talking about at least $250 million you would have to make just to break even, and this thing
they're
is not even up to 25 million or 30 million. Oh no, 84
they're
million
point 0.6
worldwide.
under. Yeah, they're 0.6 under 80 million right now.
Yeah, it's crazy, and that's it. Oh, and by the way, check your theaters this weekend because you'll start seeing Madam Web slowly being taken out, and by next weekend it's gone.
That's what I was just gonna look at, seeing if
Yep.
it's actually even playing around me right now.
Yeah, matter of fact, I'm gonna check too because from what I heard, it's definitely gonna be gone within the next week. It's gone. It's gonna be out the theaters, and it's not like they want it out the theaters. They just the Sony don't want it out the theaters. The theaters want it out the theaters. You're not making
Yeah,
money off of this. They don't want to waste their money. They don't want to waste their energy putting on a freaking. Do you remember? Shout out to Vox with the comics. He showed up there. He was the only one in the whole theater. The only one on the opening night.
as of right now, it's still playing in about 2 to 3 theaters a day.
Okay,
Um, over the
but
next
what was it?
week,
But what? How many theaters was it playing in the week before? Was it more or less or the same?
but more. So
See, there you go. So now
Cinemark
you start.
Cinemark is dropping it as of, it looks like Monday. Oh, nope, they still have people going Monday. Tuesday they have it.
I'm
Wednesday
telling you,
they have it.
I'm hearing next week
Thursday
everything's going
it's
to be home.
at Movies 10.
Yeah, it's going to be done by
So,
next Monday. Not this Monday
yep,
coming up. The next Monday it'll be out. The next, not this weekend. This is the last weekend you'll see it. They're going to probably run it for the weekend after, and it's done after
yeah,
that. No matter what, it's never. That's it. This movie is just wasting people's time and energy right now. You're just
yep.
wasting electricity. That no one. It's funny because it's supposed to be about a blind woman, and no one wants to go see it. I
Yeah,
have to say that.
we have a dollar theater. It was a dollar theater way back when. They redid it and
Mhm.
it's up to like
Yeah,
a typical movie price, but it really only plays the stuff that's leaving the theaters. It's one of those ones where it's
yeah,
like the last ditch, um not
yeah.
last ditch effort, but like the last showing. You when it hits that theater, you know it's about to leave
You know
or it's
it's
already left
it's
most
dead.
places. Yeah, you know it's dead.
That's when
Um
you're sitting in there and you watch your spirit leave your body as you're watching this, and you realize, oh, no wonder why it's
exactly.
leaving now.
And
But
since it's
that's
going to
all.
be there on Thursday, I'm definitely saying that this movie is done by,
Yeah, yeah.
but
And that's it.
it's out of most theaters before the end of this week.
Oh, definitely for sure. And that's what I'm saying. And then the weekend after that will be the last weekend. That's it. It'll be completely
Yep.
out of the theaters and on to Disney Plus.
Yep. Well, and
I
see, that's the
mean,
thing is they have to make room for Kung Fu Panda 4.
yeah, the Plus.
Ricky Stenicki comes out March 7th.
I want to see Ricky Sticky.
Luca is being re-released to theaters, it looks like.
Okay. Wow.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why. That's weird.
on March 22nd. The new Ghostbusters comes out March 22nd. The Imaginary horror movie comes out March 8th, so that's this week. Love Lies Bleeding, I don't even know what that is, comes out March 8th. Cabrini comes out March 8th. There's a movie that just came out today, Problemista.
Oh
I'm
yeah, so
guessing
you
these
see
are all
where
like
this is going.
independent.
You must go. That's it.
Yeah.
Get out. Get out. You're not making any money. You're useless to all of us. Get out. That's it. It's real simple.
Well,
if you can't keep up with if you can't keep up with your customers, you gotta pull it. That's it. And it's horrible that they messed up this entire movie. I'm sorry, but
and
they did.
Dune Part 2 just released, so that's the other
Oh,
reason why it's leaving.
Now I'm gonna do a whole review on that because I haven't seen that movie yet, but I'm gonna make sure I go out my way to see it. Because from what I heard, and this is from people that have similar tastes to me and people in the industry that they know what I like, and they told me, bro, do you miss the old Star Wars mixed with the old Dune? I said, yeah. They said, well, this is what this Dune 2 is. I said, trust me, you're going to have a great time watching this. So, you know, they're saying that I like Dune 1. It wasn't like great, but they're saying this movie is fantastic. This movie is going to blow away expectations. And they think it's going to definitely break into the billion for sure. But we'll see. I mean, you know, but I'm going to be honest. Dune is one of those, I was talking about this earlier.
I never watched
Dune
part
is
one.
Of those, you should. I'm telling you. Not only that, have you ever watched the original Dune?
No.
Go back and watch it.
I honestly didn't even realize that it was a remake, sequel, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, what? Oh, my God. Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, I forget. Okay, I forget I'm old, so look, check it out. Here's the original Dune, right? And
from
Patrick
the 80s,
Stewart,
right?
Yeah, Patrick Stewart is Gurney, and he does a great job as Gurney. I loved him as Gurney. And, you know, if you know Patrick Stewart, he has that, like that firm, like that raspy, like commanding voice. He's exactly like that. Now, I love that movie. It's older, but wow, man, I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell you right now, if you watch Dune 1, the first one, and then watch the Dune 1 now, it's similar, but they're both worth watching because both movies are doing things that the other one doesn't do. Like when you have they have the navigators, right? In the first, I love these are old movies. You gotta understand that special effects are like supposed to be garbage back then. And this holds up like Star Wars quality back in the 70s and 80s. It holds up. I mean, like, I'm going to watch it just to make sure that it holds up because from what I can recollect, the movie was fantastic. The special effects blew me away. And I'll be honest, for me, I felt like because I was young at the time, it was just a little too slow for me, you know, because I'm a young kid and I wanted to see, you know, a battle and people shooting each other. That's why, you know, I'm into the action. But there's a lot of dialogue that I wasn't used to. But then I realized why they did that as I was growing up. I was like, oh, no, this is because it's good storytelling. They're putting detail into it, you know? They have an entire lore behind this. Like, you know, like the spice miners, they get a whole story about them, how they become mutated over time from using this spice. Because what the movie is about is there's a planet called Arrakis. And in Arrakis, they make the special spice that these space navigators use to fold space. That's how they galactically travel. They fold space, but the only way they could do this is through the special spice that's made on planet Arrakis. And when they got to planet Arrakis, they discovered that there's like supposed to be a chosen one that comes to save their people, and his name is Muad'Dib, and that's supposed to be their Jesus Christ, I guess. And that's what the movie's about. Like the Fremen are the race of people who live in Arrakis. They're totally underground. The other house, Arcady, that was there, they were trying to kill everybody on that planet. And then House Atreides takes over the spice mining operation, and that's where all the craziness. I'm not gonna give away any more, but I'm gonna tell you guys, if you never watched Dune, I recommend watching the first original ones first because you're not going to waste your time. You're going to get a great background. So when you're watching this again, you're going to start. It's going to be easy for you to pick up on a movie because they don't go into like the extreme detail they wanted to the first one. That's why I think it makes sense. So I don't know how the second one's going to be, but from what I'm hearing, the second one is going to be pretty like the way that the first one was made in Dune with a lot of detail and a lot of like, you know, backstory to it. But yeah, I mean, I'm
Okay.
surprised it's never made a game. The only thing I didn't like, that's what I was talking about this today. The only thing I didn't like about Dune was the books. They started making
Okay.
Dune, Advent Children. Okay, I read that,
Yeah.
and the thing about Advent Children is that it's not a Dune story. It's not about them. It's just about the Iraqians doing their thing. So when you like the book, it's like when I started reading the Star Wars books back in the day. That's when I started realizing, wait a minute, this is not canon. Like, they started doing things that were like, I understand you're trying to build a
Yeah.
universe, but the books were supposed to be canon. This is how they were
Yep.
advertised, and they weren't. And I was getting mad at that. Same thing with the Dune books. So I mean, I like the original books, and that's another thing too. You like reading? Get Dune and read that. This is what I say: read the book first. It's long, but it's worth it. Watch
Okay.
both of those movies, then watch the new Dune. Do it in that order. You're gonna really appreciate it. I'm telling you. You're gonna be like, you know
Good
what?
to
You were
know.
right. I'm. This is one of my like Star Wars, Dune, Indiana Jones. These were the things I grew up with. That
Yeah.
I was really young when they came out, and I was always astonished by these movies. They were good quality movies. And you know, as I got a little older, my first job at 16, I was working in the theater as an usher. So I used to watch everything. So when I say I'm into movies, yeah, I was getting paid for like 3 years to watch movies for free. So I was just watching movies. I mean, that were out. And you know, I got to see a lot of good flicks. But I'm telling you, yeah, Dune is like right up there with me, and I'm very excited about this Dune. I really can't wait to see it. I mean, you know, I just don't like the Zelianda character, but other than that, you know, I'm like fine with the way the movie was so far. I mean, even the effects, like I will say, like the effects in Dune, the first one was good, but I mean, the remake first one, the special effects blow it the hell away. I mean,
Yeah.
but like I said, there is things like I'll give you like parts that I liked about the first one. When they show the navigators and how they fold space, it's I can't explain it in words. It looks like they're flying into this like the spice goes into this machine somehow, and I don't know, it looks like they got high, and they're floating through like this orange cloud, and they're touching things, and then the next thing you know, the ship disappears, and then it reappears somewhere in the universe, and that's the process of how they travel in space. And I was like, wow, I've never seen anything like that. You know, hyperdrive, warp drive, but folded space using the spice that these navigators become. I don't know if they were ever humanoid, but they look like Jabba the Hutt now from thousands of years. Because also the spice of Arrakis can give you immortality, and that's what happens. These navigators
Okay.
that they started out using the spice when they were humanoids, they extended their lives artificially using the spice, but over time the spice started to mutate them into these creatures that they become, and it's thousands of years. So this has been going on for thousands of years in this world, and it's just an entire Earth colony that spread through the whole universe, and this is how they did it. So, I mean, if you guys
Interesting.
ever watched it, it's a very good movie. I mean, I recommend that highly. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. I mean, the books, everything. I mean, really good story. This is like if you want to see some real. No one writes like this anymore. No one, trust me. The writing in this is superior. I'm telling you, it's just like one of these
Yeah.
things about the '80s
I
that the
hear you.
movies were just made like. I mean, we didn't have a lot of special effects, but we had a lot of explosions and action. But the movies that really concentrate on the special effects, they did for the times, amazing job. Like I never
No.
forget the first time I watched the remake of Star Wars #1,
Yeah.
episode 4. And I'm like, what the hell is all this? Like, I still have that original Star Wars. I never got rid of it.
Yeah.
It's worth hundreds of
I've
dollars
been
now.
rewatching episode 1 recently, and the way that they smoothed out a lot of the CGI
Smooth it out. They added so
just
many things too. They added like
well,
in
yeah.
the town when he's rolling into town. They got
Like,
in the original footage you just have like a couple of those floater shuttles going by.
yep.
No, in the reanimated digitally affected one, no, you got AT-ATs walking around. You
Yeah.
got a bunch of people walking around. You got things flying around like that weren't there. And I was like, what the? I remember watching this for the first time. I was like, whoa, what am I
Yeah.
seeing here? Where did
And
this
I
come
mean,
from?
I know it's from the late 90s, early 2000s, so I
Mhm.
can't knock the CGI. It's
Right, yeah.
definitely good for the time period.
Right, for
But
sure. That's what I'm saying. Like
it
some things are
looks like a
classic.
video game at times because you have an alien, like when they're on Tatooine, you have the alien flying who's the slaver of Anakin and his mother,
Yes.
and he looks like he is fake, but he looks completely fake because they smoothed it out too much. It looks like he's literally just sitting there on the screen the same way that you would have in a video game, where everything else looks completely real, but then you have this random character that just came into this screen view.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But
yeah, I mean, like I said, like I wasn't a big fan of it when I first saw it, and I didn't care for it either way. I mean, like I was fine with the original one, but then I put my original one on. And I was like, man, you know what? I'm keeping you forever. I have my whole Star Wars collection. I have it on freaking VHS. Trust me, I have that in every format you could think of. But I keep the originals because, and it's funny because when I bought those back when. I bought those movies when they started making DVDs. And this is like 95, I think, when they really started like pushing the DVDs on the market, 95, 96. I found the set. I was in the military then, and I found the set on the PX. I bought the entire set. I think I paid like $14 for it. I mean, I looked that up the other day. It's worth a couple of $100 because it's the original footage. You know, it's all like it's not altered in any way. It's the actual. This is very hard to find. You're only gonna find it on the original DVD and on the tapes. And if you can't get those formats, everything you get now is just gonna be copies of stuff. Like if I go to like any kind of like mall areas, flea markets, or anything like that, I'm always looking for those because they're out there in the wild. You know, people don't know it. You know, I look at Star Wars and just not buy it. Whenever I see it, I pick it up because I already know that there's certain variants of the movie that people like, and I'm just for the old school. So I mean, I'm not saying that added anything to it didn't make it any better or worse. I just didn't care for it, but I can understand that you're showing this to a whole new generation of people who are going to be expecting just to see a little more. So it you have to sometimes go with your times. But I'll say this much. When it comes to my damn comic, whoever's going to try to do a movie, we following canon. And if you don't follow canon, come there and beat some ass. Because that's kind of director I'm going to be.
And that's why a lot of these are doing, what's it called? TV shows now, because you can get more in. But on that note, I've got to get some rest. I've got to go to bed. Got a big day tomorrow, and then crazy day, like crazy 3 weeks. So have a great night, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Again, congratulations to our giveaway winner. New giveaway will be up on Instagram, and then we'll be talking about it every live stream and putting out a hashtag to get extra entries in every live stream. Thank you guys so much for watching.
So also, I just wanted to say, we're going to give away one of these too. So let me know when you want to do another giveaway. And I'm going to give away a copy of Symbiotic Book 1, the Book of Einstein. You guys are lucky. I'm feeling so generous. I want to do this. So we're going to definitely give away one of those. You tell me when you're ready. And this copy right here, this is going to be for you guys. So it's going to be always. So definitely. Perfect. So thank you all. And I had fun. And everybody, good night.
Have a great night.
We are out.